Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what the most dangerous time of your day is? Not the morning. Not when you're at work. It's the night, right before you sleep. Because at night, your brain is like a sponge. But guess what most people do? They dump garbage into it. Think of your night like a bank. Every late night distraction is like someone stealing your money. And when you wake up, you have nothing left to invest in your dreams. Winners lock their accounts at night. They protect it fiercely. That's why their mornings feel so powerful, even if they didn't wake up at 5 a.m. I'm talking about scrolling Instagram at 2 a.m., watching random drama videos, replaying embarrassing things you did 6 years ago. Yes, even that one time you tripped in school. Congratulations, you just gave yourself anxiety for tomorrow. Here's the truth. Winners treat their night like a VIP club. No useless notifications. No arguing in WhatsApp groups. No just one more video. Think about Sheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook. She's known for shutting her devices off, turning down the noise, and sleeping with a clear mind. Meanwhile, most of us are still watching cat memes at midnight thinking, this is helping me relax. Let's be honest. How many of you have scrolled until 1 a.m. thinking, this is fine, it's just 10 minutes, and suddenly it's 3 hours later, and your brain feels like mashed potatoes? Yeah, that's exactly what average people do. Winners, they hit pause. They say, no, the world can wait. My brain deserves peace. Even someone like Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, makes it a point to end his day quietly. He doesn't just stop working. He stops noise. That's why he can think clearly tomorrow. Meanwhile, we're arguing about who unfollowed us or reading a useless thread on some random app. Here's the actionable secret. Choose 30 to 60 minutes before sleep as your noise-free zone. Phones down, notifications off, and let your mind breathe. Read a book, reflect a little, or even nothing. Your brain will thank you. Your decisions tomorrow will be sharper, and your energy will stop leaking away into nonsense. So tonight, before your eyes get glued to the screen again, ask yourself, am I filling my brain or emptying it into nonsense? Winners know the answer, and they act. Do you want to know the biggest difference between someone who is average and someone who wins at life? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's what they do at night when nobody is watching. Let's be real. Most people finish work, flop on the couch, order food, scroll their phones, and say, I'll be productive tomorrow. Spoiler alert, tomorrow doesn't care about your promises. Winners, they have night habits that quietly stack their life like Lego blocks. Let's break it down. First, they reflect on the day, but not like, I messed up that one thing while lying awake. No. They write it down or think clearly, what went well? What can I do better tomorrow? Look at famous examples. Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo, would spend her nights reviewing her day, thinking about decisions and planning improvements. That reflection wasn't boring, it was power, and it made her mornings unstoppable. Second, they feed their brain, but not with mindless TikTok videos. A winner might read 20 pages of a book, watch an educational talk, or even just listen to a podcast that teaches one new skill. Reed Hastings, the Netflix co-founder, is known for reading and thinking at night. While the world binge-watched reality shows, he quietly built ideas that changed an industry. Third, they plan tomorrow. But here's the trick. They don't overthink. They write down priorities. Top 3 things to accomplish. That's it. Simple, clear, actionable. You do this, tomorrow feels easy. You don't, you panic, scroll, and waste energy deciding what to do while everyone else is moving forward. Fourth, they practice gratitude. Sounds cheesy? Maybe, but it works. Before sleeping, winners think, what went right today? Who helped me? What am I thankful for? This small habit reduces stress, clears the mind, and gives your brain permission to rest. And here's a funny, relatable example. Imagine your cousin who orders pizza at 11:30 p.m., watches random videos, and complains tomorrow that life is hard. Now imagine someone like Mark Zuckerberg at the same age, thinking quietly about ways to improve his project, reading a book, planning one small idea. 10 years later, who looks back and says, yes, my nights made the difference. Even small habits make a big difference. Winners don't need to work 24/7. They just use their night wisely when nobody else is paying attention. And over time, those nights become invisible compounding power. That's why they look ahead, calm and ready, while everyone else is exhausted, stressed, and scrolling for motivation. So tonight, instead of going straight for the phone after dinner, ask yourself, am I building habits that quietly win or habits that quietly steal my tomorrow? Winners know the answer, and that's why nobody ever talks about their nights, but everyone envies their mornings. Let's talk about discipline. And no, not the boring wake up at 5 a.m. and run 10 kilometers type of discipline. I'm talking about discipline at night when nobody is watching. The moments when you think no one cares what you do, but that's exactly when winners are building their future. Most people think discipline is big, flashy, and visible, like winning an award, getting a promotion, or having followers. But the truth, real discipline is small, quiet, and invisible. It's saying no when everyone else says just one more. Let's start with food. How many times have you ordered food late at night? Just one burger, it's okay. Next thing you know, it's 11:45 p.m., you've spent 2,000 calories on regret, and your stomach won't let you sleep. Winners, they eat early, light, smart. They know late night snacks aren't just about calories, they're about stealing energy, focus, and sleep. Funny example. Imagine your friend ordering biryani at midnight while saying, I need energy to study tomorrow. Yes, sure. Meanwhile, the disciplined person sleeps, dreams, and wakes up with energy you can't even imagine. Next, digital discipline. Most people scroll social media in bed until their eyes hurt. Winners, they say no. Phones away, notifications off. Why? Because every minute spent in someone else's life is a minute stolen from your own. A relatable example. Howard Schultz, the Starbucks CEO, would spend quiet nights reflecting, reading, thinking, not scrolling. That reflection turned into ideas that built billions, while someone else was just double tapping memes. Then there's mental discipline. Winners don't argue with friends at 2 a.m. They don't replay embarrassing moments in their head, and they don't worry about things they can't control tonight. We all have that one cousin or friend who calls at 11:30 p.m. to vent, and suddenly you're awake, thinking about their problems. And tomorrow, you're tired, stressed, and unproductive. Discipline is saying, I care about them, but not at the cost of my tomorrow. Here's a relatable laugh. Imagine two roommates. One keeps ordering food, fighting with the phone, and watching random videos until 2 a.m. The other sleeps at 11 p.m., reads a few pages, plans one thing for tomorrow. Guess who is energized the next morning and who struggles to even get out of bed? Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's a superpower nobody notices until years later. Even the smallest choices count. Not ordering late night snacks, not binge watching random shows, not arguing with people who don't matter. It all adds up. Winners protect their energy, focus, and clarity. And trust me, these tiny invisible choices separate someone who is average from someone who achieves quietly but consistently. So tonight, when your stomach growls, when the phone buzzes, when the temptation whispers, remember, discipline at night is what makes mornings effortless. And the best part, nobody sees it. That's why winners are always ahead, even if it doesn't look like they're trying. Now that we've talked about discipline, let's move to one of the most powerful secrets of winners, preparing tomorrow, tonight. Most people wake up in chaos. Clothes scattered, phone buzzing, half-eaten breakfast, and a brain screaming, what am I supposed to do first? That's stress before the day even begins. Winners, they flip the script. They set tomorrow up tonight, quietly, without anyone noticing. Imagine this. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, would prepare small wins for the next day, laying out her priorities, planning meetings, even choosing her clothes. She knew that a tiny action at night multiplies into hours of focus and confidence tomorrow. Meanwhile, your neighbor is scrolling TikTok at midnight and panicking at 7 a.m., wondering why life is hard. Let's get real. It's not just about to-do lists. It's about clarity and mental peace. Winners write down the top 3 things they absolutely must get done tomorrow. Not 10 things. Not 20. 3. That's it. And guess what? That list becomes their compass. They wake up with purpose, not confusion. Here's a funny example. Imagine 2 friends studying for exams. One writes tomorrow's priorities, lays out notes, sets alarm, and goes to bed. The other stays up, watches videos, and hopes to figure it out in the morning. Next day, one breezes through work calmly. The other runs around like a headless chicken. Same 24 hours, different outcomes. That's the power of night preparation. Winners also set up their environment. Clothes ready, workspace organized, phone on silent. It sounds small, but it reduces friction for action tomorrow. Think of it like a sports team. Before the game, everything is ready. Uniforms, strategy, water bottles, nothing left to chance. Now imagine showing up for your day with clothes on the floor and your brain scattered. Funny, right? But most people do it every day. Even choosing what to eat for breakfast counts. Yes, small habits like I'll have oats and fruit versus I'll figure it out in the morning and probably grab a burger make a difference. One is predictable, controlled, focused. The other, chaos. And the beauty? This doesn't require willpower. At 7 a.m., winners know that mornings are easier when tonight is designed, sleep becomes calm. Energy isn't wasted deciding things you should have decided yesterday. Your morning isn't about struggling. It's about executing the plan you already made. So tonight, take 10-15 minutes. Pick your top 3 priorities. Lay out your clothes, organize your desk, decide your breakfast. It sounds small, but it quietly compounds into weeks, months, and years of unstoppable momentum. Remember, the future starts tonight, not tomorrow morning. Winners know it, average people ignore it, and the gap between them grows silently every night. Now we come to the most overlooked secret of winners, protecting energy and sleep. Let's be honest, most people treat sleep like it's optional. Like Wi-Fi or tea, I'll just sleep 4 hours tonight. It's fine. Really? Winners know that sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is a weapon, and they guard it fiercely. Think about it. Ariana Huffington, the media mogul, almost collapsed from exhaustion before realizing that sleep wasn't a break from work, it was the foundation of performance. Once she started protecting it, her energy, focus, and productivity skyrocketed. Meanwhile, most of us are arguing at 11:30 p.m., eating heavy food, scrolling endlessly, and then wonder why we feel like zombies tomorrow. Energy isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, and creative. And every time you compromise sleep, you steal it from tomorrow's performance. Winners know that. They don't just go to bed on time. They create a routine that preserves energy. Light dinner, no late arguments, no just one more episode, no random snacks, no unnecessary drama. Here's a funny, relatable example. Imagine 2 cousins. One finishes work, orders pizza at midnight, fights over WhatsApp, and scrolls for 2 hours. The other eats dinner early, takes a shower, reads a few pages, and sleeps. Next morning, who runs the day and who drags like a snail? It's obvious. One night of discipline is invisible. 10 years of protecting energy, that's how billion-dollar ideas get built. Winners also understand environment matters. Bedroom is quiet, dark, devices off, no lights, no pings, no temptation. They don't just sleep, they optimize rest. Sleep isn't just rest, it's recovery, creativity, and decision-making fuel. Even small habits help. Drinking water, avoiding caffeine late, stretching for 5 minutes sounds tiny, but it matters. Your body and brain notice, and tomorrow you wake up sharper, faster, and calmer than anyone else who ignored it. Here's the kicker. Most people chase productivity during the day, but ignore the nights that actually fuel it. Winners do the opposite. They guard their energy, sleep like a treasure, and treat their body and mind with respect. And that's why they outperform quietly, consistently, without looking like they're working harder. So tonight, ask yourself, am I treating my sleep and energy like disposable things or like the most valuable tools I have? Winners know the answer. And when you start protecting your nights, mornings feel effortless, decisions become clear, and success stops being random, it becomes inevitable. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.